Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A friend of mine was making a joke today when we had a long discussion on what we think would be the implications of President Donald J. Trump being the president again. First of all, let me congratulate President Trump for coming back again, making it the unthinkable, I think since the 17th century, to become the only American president to have been voted out and come back again as president. I think that is remarkable. He is either a very good politician, or the American people love him so much, or the American people are so tired of the regime that just left office. I do not know which one is the answer, but he has come back and we ought to congratulate him with open arms. So one of my friends was talking to me and was telling me that African dictators are very happy. And this is why actually I thought, let me do this video. And when I asked my friend, why are the dictators happy? What he told me was that, did you not hear that President Trump said he will focus on American interest and American interest only, and that this is the only thing that will be putting first in his, as the only first thing in his administration. I told him I heard that, my friend. And then he told me, yes, this is the reason why African dictators are happy. Because then they can continue sleeping and nobody will bother them or disturb them with democratic tunes. Oh, democracy that. Oh, democracy this. I could not wait but laugh with my friend, because deep in my mind, I knew he was speaking some truth. But then, what do you think about a democracy? Is democracy just a mere show of elections being held every 4 years or every 5 years in some countries? This is a dilemma that we live to see. So whether the dictators of Africa are happy, and here by dictators we mean people who stay in power for a very long time, do not want to leave office, thinking that they are the only ones who know how to lead or can lead. And instead of grooming others to lead, then they want to sit there until either they die or they bring in people that they think are going to protect their wealth, their family, and everything else. Ladies and gentlemen, democracy is a good thing. The fact that you can have elections every 4 years and choose the leaders and hear policies from different quarters, different political parties, is a really good thing. And that the best ideas then win. These are the sort of things that drive countries forward. And these are the things that make countries that are great and powerful more powerful, especially countries like the United States of America, that everybody wants to go and live the American dream. And I will say something about the American dream later. So when I watched the elections of the US until also when I saw the inauguration, I could not help but feel the hope of having a country also like this in the name of South Sudan. Also, these are the things that our people were fighting for. And where I come from, originally, South Sudan. Until today, we still have one president. Unfortunately, we're still fighting. And we do not know when we can hold elections. The CPA and the election when we were electing the southern leaders around 2009-2010 and the CPA in 2011 are the only sort of elections we can say we voted. And of course, overwhelmingly we voted for South Sudan to be separated from the North. So when people take some time democracy for granted. People like say, oh, you have the right to vote. If you take it for granted, you do not know what you're missing. There are people who wish that they have this opportunity. So take it. Wherever you are in the world, if you can have this opportunity, please enjoy it. Because there are people who do not have this. When I look at the speech of Donald J. Trump, ladies and gentlemen, there are things, or there are policies that he laid out that could have implications either to the people of America or the world. I am a perennial refugee. I became a refugee when I was 11 years, and I've been traversing the world on side state. So when I heard the president of the United States talking about refugees from Mexico, for me, I do not know, and I do not have details, since I've not been to the US, whether he is speaking about refugees or migrants who have come to the US because of the different challenges that they face, especially where there are conflicts, or because they have been persecuted and risk death, that they find refuge in the United States. Or you mean other people who go to the United States to do other businesses that are illegal, the so-called, or the ones that he term terrorists. If it means the latter, then I'll have no much objection, because I believe in laws and rules of the rule of law must be followed. For America also to function, without the rule of law, then there will be no great United States of America. So that one we agree with the president. But when if it is the first statement, or the former, that people who run away from persecution, or because they want to save their lives and have security and a dignified life, and then I'll have a problem, because as a refugee, I know no boundary. You know, the conflicts that we cause in this world are the one that creates refugees or produce refugees. Refugees do not just manufacture themselves. People do not just leave their home and say, let me go to the United States, let me go to Canada, let me go to Australia, let me go to Kenya, let me go to Uganda, let me go to Ethiopia so that I can live there in paradise and leave my home because I am lazy, because I do not work hard, or because I cannot use my hand to produce my own food. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not just food. And I want to take this opportunity of the speech of the President of the United States to address this issue. Because I've seen this communication and talk from people who are anti-refugees and migrants. I've used this for years to call us names, to belittle us as refugees or people who have had migrant background. You see, if we do not work so hard to create wars in this world, if we do not work so hard to create issues and problems in South Sudan, especially by the international actors, then some of us will not have left South Sudan. You know how much we love home? Do you know how much we love where we are born or where we come from? So that I feel the pity that if refugees from Mexico or from South America, whether it is Nicaragua, Venezuela, whom we have seen suffering, whether it is through political situations in Brazil that want to cross the United States and that they can unfairly be deported and take it back to their dens where they will be killed and tortured. This one we cannot stand for. This, I say this without fear or contradiction. And this applies to any country in the world, not just the United States of America. Because for me, I would love refugees to be protected as well in South Sudan. There is always a misconception that refugees come to take our jobs, refugees come to destroy our land, refugees come to do A, B, C, D, E. I tell you the truth, we do not come to take jobs. We are seeing brotherly people, our host country, friends, that we can live together and have some peace and tranquility, and remove the so many mental issues and problems that we have faced over the years. Some of us, since we were born, we have been seeing and meeting with guns. So this statement is one thing that I wanted to come to bring out from the president's speech. The other thing is, which I will just leave open, I'll just mention, which is I think is interesting, is that America from this day on will have male and female as the only genders. This one I will leave to the people of America to decide. I do not know where this comes from. I'm not here to bring up this debate, but I think this was another bold statement. And I think perhaps these are the thing that makes the people of America love President Trump, because he's bold and speak up his mind. The other thing that could have an implication to us globally is that he said America is going to reproduce again. So they will use the oil reserve that they have, plus the automobile industry that has not been producing will produce even more now. Oil will be used. And that you can buy any car that you want, being electric or a diesel or a petrol car. What do these have? What do we have this in terms of the climatic changes that we have? A big concern are people who do not produce this kind of cars or do not have industries. I come from an area originally where until today we still do not have a single factory. And we are among the most hit by floods in the whole world, I would say this. Our people, even as I do this video, are still in water since 2021. We face the wrath of climatic change. While when climate refugees then run away and move to other countries, the question will be, why are you leaving your country? Well, can you please watch your biocarbons, your emissions? Because the more you emit, the more you are going to cause challenges and climatic changes that will lead to floods and unnecessary droughts in other countries. So I understand that it is a very challenging thing to tell who is going to produce what and who is not going to produce what, because there's always a free rider effect in this situation. People will produce while others are trying to lower their emissions. I'm proud of EU. They're doing very well in terms of this. But where would we go then? Because we know the power of the US. If this statement would come from the president-elect, I leave that also to policymakers and the people of the US to look into. I know the US has laws and that nobody is above the law in the United States, in countries where institutions actually operate and work. So I think that this will be handled. Perhaps it was just a political statement. So this is something that I thought I would have a look and talk about, because if you see the policies also that I've already started, today I'm told, or yesterday, that the president already assigned that the United States get out of the World Health Organization. Wow. What do you think about this? Especially if you are an American. We know how the UN was founded, 1945 or thereabout, right? And over the years, the United Nations have worked so hard to combat poverty, war, disease, and especially the World Health Organization has been instrumental. Perhaps people like me may not be alive today if it was not for the UN and the UNHCR and also the World Health Organization and the accompanying development cooperation actors that are working very hard today to avert humanitarian challenges and problems. I have worked as a humanitarian and I know what I'm talking about. It is very unfortunate, in my view, to have withdrawn the US from the World Health Organization. I say this because the US is a big contributor or donor to the UN. When this happened, what are the implications? How many children that are being saved by the World Health Organization globally are going to face the wrath of diseases? But I think that's maybe the way of making America great again, you the Americans. I leave that up to you to decide. So we actually have some interesting time going ahead because Donald J. Trump is back as the president of the United States. And when a country is powerful, their interest or the thing that they do also affect other people or other places in terms of policy, in terms of what to do. One thing I know, and I echo him, that he said I will do, that he said he will be the peacemaker and the champion of peace. This one I trust, and I think he's going to do, because he says he's going to focus only on America. And other countries that will do other things, when the America tells you to have peace, then you should have peace. Because you will not want the wrath, right? So I think this is a good statement. I really believe, because this is what we need. And I can tell you, Mr. President, when you do this, you will have less refugees, because nobody leaves their home country and their land just because they want to go to another country and enjoy life there. In fact, refugees will tell you that they have more stress and more challenges and face more problems in other countries than their own. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It was a big debate. I would not analyze the whole speech, but these are a few points that I thought I'd throw onto us that I think are also interesting to other players or other global actors, because this world is ours, and we need to understand it, we need to analyze it, we need to know what is happening as we move ahead in this 21st century. Thank you very much.